Hello and welcome to my channel. Tonight I'm doing a chill little draw with me video where I'm just going to be chatting and sketching, and hopefully you enjoy. So today I'm drawing in Krita because I wanted to make this video actually drawing with real pens because that's what I've been drawing with mostly recently. But I have to wait for some more equipment to arrive in the mail. I bought a tripod for my phone so I can actually record because I have a webcam, but the video quality is not very good. So we're going to be doing some digital drawing, even though it's not my tool of choice at the moment. And why I felt like making this style of video? Well, when I first started drawing, I used to watch a lot of drawing tutorials on YouTube. Although I didn't actually follow the tutorials, I was just kind of watching in the background while I was drawing. Because I feel like when you're drawing, sometimes you can get kind of bored or distracted. But when you're drawing with other people, even if it's digitally, like connected over the internet, I feel like it's a little easier to stay focused and motivated. So I thought it would be a fun thing to do. And I was also inspired by one of my besties recently. She was talking about how she wanted to go on a podcast, but the podcast, there was a wait list of like more than 6 months before she could be a podcast guest on someone else's podcast, making content for them. And I was like, why don't you start your own podcast? You have the ideas that would make this guest spot interesting. Why don't you just do your own? She said, I don't want to be another voice. But okay, I do want to be another voice because I think that's what makes art so interesting. Because every person is so different and their art is so different. So just seeing what people have to say is interesting on its own. That's one of my favorite parts about looking at art is psychoanalyzing people. Seeing what kind of complexes they have, what the demons that they're exercising out onto the page. So if you're watching this and you have any thoughts on that, you can tell me what my complexes are. Like psychoanalyze what I'm drawing. It'd be fun. So I'm just warming up for now. I feel like I don't really know what I want to draw. I've been drawing a lot of creatures recently. Like little dogs and stuff. I feel like I need stabilization on this brush because, okay, I really haven't drawn digitally in such a long time. I'm not really used to the workflow. And I would say, okay, I draw quite often. So I draw every day. I would definitely recommend this to any artist. Draw every single day. Even if it's just for a few minutes, whatever you can fit in. Just as much as you can, I think, is very... It's good for your creative development, and it's very therapeutic as well. So if you're ever having a bad day and you think, oh, my day's going so bad, I can't draw today, do the opposite and draw, and it'll make you feel better. And if you're ever in a rut and you think, I'm creatively blocked, just get a blank piece of paper and just start drawing, and then you'll not be creatively blocked anymore. It's really that easy. Yeah, I've been doing a self-help book by Julia Cameron. It's called The Artist's Way. I'm almost done the book. I'm almost done all 12 weeks. It's like Alcoholics Anonymous for artists, basically. And I would say it's been pretty fun. It definitely helped me because you have to write down all these affirmations. Every day you write down, I am a brilliant and prolific artist. And honestly, I used to be the type of person who thought this affirmation stuff is silly. No, but it really works, okay? Like, you actually start to believe it when you do enough days of it. So if you're feeling creatively blocked, I would recommend that book. I would recommend writing in a journal every day. And I would recommend meeting more artists. Okay, community art events. I went to one recently in my city. It's called Comic Jam. And I think a lot of cities have this, actually. But so how it works is everyone draws a panel of a comic, and then you build up a comic together. And then they print it out into a little book that you get to take home. Okay, it was so fun, But so my goal was, okay, I'm gonna meet more artists. But I have this problem, right? As soon as I got there, I started drawing, and I got so focused on the drawing that I didn't even look up from the page, and I was there for like hours. And I didn't actually talk, well, I talked to a couple people, but not very much. So the next time I go, I'm making it my goal to actually network, because I think it's important to connect to artists in your community. Although, events like that, as my example shows, you can be an introvert and still go and not really have to talk to anyone. So that was kind of fun. I think it's interesting how art, I think it can connect you to people, but it can also be used as a barrier. Like, people who always have their sketchbook out, you can kind of use it to avoid people because you're drawing and then they'll just leave you alone. Which I don't always like, okay? Because I like to talk to people when I'm drawing. But if I ever pull out the sketchbook, right, people just, they go quiet because they think that they're going to distract you if they talk. But I actually prefer to have, like, background noise or something going on. And, like, especially being engaged in a conversation, okay? Like, listening to a podcast or something, that's, you know, it's okay. But actually having a conversation while you draw, I feel like it can be super inspiring. Even though right now it's, like, really distracting me and I'm, like, not making as good drawings as I would make if I was just being quiet. So I need to work on that. But okay, an example is I went on, like, a week-long trip with a group of people. So because I draw every day, right, I'm gonna have to draw at some point during the trip. But I don't want to just be sitting in a corner by myself because that's kind of sad. So I was like, I pulled out my sketchbook and I started drawing, right? And everyone, they stop the conversation. They just go quiet. And they say, oh, I don't want to distract you. Imagine you're trying to draw and you have all these people talking. Like, no, it's not like that at all. But definitely some people use it as avoidance. Okay, I watched the documentary Crumb on R. Crumb. And, you know, I'm a little freak. I take my sketchbook everywhere because I love to draw so much. But okay, maybe you're doing that because you actually are trying to avoid people. You know, you don't want to actually talk to people, you just want to draw them. I don't know, it's different for everyone. One thing that I think I've gotten criticized a lot for, and then by extent I criticize myself for, is just drawing portraits, okay, and self-portraits. But I think that just comes naturally. So, I don't really think there's anything too wrong with it, but I guess I could see how it could get boring if you're not really interested in it. Although, this is kind of the funny thing, there's so many artists in history, right? You know, like, these old Renaissance guys, whatever. So many of them did portraits, self-portraits. You're the court portrait artist, right? Doing portraits for the royal family. Oh, you're a part of the art history canon, you're so cool. Okay, now you're a young woman in 2024, you're doing portraits? Oh, that's lame, that's boring. So I don't know if I believe in that. I believe in the portrait. And I would say, okay, usually when I work digitally, I think okay, digital art and digital painting, I would compare it to oil painting, honestly. In the workflow and just something with the vibe. So when I work digitally, I like to do kind of like this grease-eye type thing, and then you color over it, which is a technique that I kind of gleaned from these tutorials that I was only half watching. So that's why I don't do it very well, because I wasn't paying attention to the tutorials, right? I just wanted background noise and company. Yeah, something's going wrong with these brushes. These are not the brushes that I usually use. I don't know why I wanted to switch things up for this video. I think I was just feeling like try something new. But okay, just trust me because I'm gonna draw something good in a minute. It just takes some time, okay? It's coming out. I think I want to draw some sort of little creatures, because I've been watching this show, Scavenger's Reign, right? I'm almost done it, but I'm saving the last 2 episodes, but I'm almost done. And it's so inspiring. Oh my gosh, they have the cutest little creatures on that show. It's also kind of scary, so word of warning, but the hand-drawn animation is so lovely. So I was watching it, right? I thought, oh, animation, hand-drawn animation, it would be so easy for me to just animate something, right? Oh my god, I tried, frame by frame animation, it was so janky, and it took me 3 hours to make it, 5 seconds. So, respect to animators. And, okay, there's nothing wrong with 3D animation. I think that's cool in its own right. But there's something about that kind of, I don't know what the technique's called, okay? I'm not an animator. But when you draw it actually, like, frame by frame, that's so cool. And, okay, I am fighting people in my head. The people in my head who are saying digital art isn't real art, okay? If these are not people in my head, right? These are real people that I've talked to, but I don't talk to anymore. But if you've ever been terrorized by someone like this, you need to cleanse those demons, okay? Because it's crazy how people can give you a complex. They can, just out of their own security, they see you doing some good digital art and they go, oh, that's not real art. And no, this is real. Okay, trust. And, okay, I think this is coming together. I think I'm kind of liking this creature. I think he's going to be like a little lion. And a teddy bear. Yeah, that's cute. And I feel like when I first started to draw, I was inspired by a lot of, like, concept artists. I feel like a concept artist is really, they're kind of just a fine artist, like, they don't really quite want to be an illustrator, but they have to make money. But I don't know. I mean, why put labels? You're just an artist, right? Okay, on the topic of artistry, okay? Artistry as a spiritual path, okay? Because I don't think that art is a career. Like, I don't think it's like, oh, I want to go into law, I'm going to become an artist. Like, it's not like that, okay? It's like when people have a spiritual crisis and then, like, go in and join, like, an ashram or something. That's how it feels to be an artist, right? You're like, I'm unemployable, I can't live in this world, I'm an artist now. So, that's how I feel about art. I don't really care about making money off it. It's just kind of a fun thing to do, I guess. I feel like I should have brainstormed some conversation topics because now that I'm trying to talk, like, it's actually harder than I thought it would be to, like, just talk and ramble. I've been reading this book by Annie Besant. It's, like, on thought forms, but it's some other one. It's not the one that's just called Thought Forms. But she's an interesting writer, I love all this New Age stuff. But okay, New Age stuff, it gets kind of dangerous, right? Because you're just doing it for fun, and then you actually catch yourself leaving it. And then sometimes I get kind of paranoid, like, about how much of this New Age stuff have I really absorbed, and, like, but I don't know. Because, like, this New Age stuff, it's kind of fun. It's very inspiring, I think, creatively. It helps me with my art, right? But, okay, when I'm scared at night, okay, and it's dark, and it's like, I'm scared of seeing a ghost in the corner of my room, or, like, a demon, I'm praying for Jesus Christ, like Jesus Christ, the light of Jesus Christ, form a barrier around me. Okay, I'm not Christian or anything, like, I wasn't raised Christian, but it just seems appropriate in the moment. Because I feel like with this New Age stuff, I get scared about, like, accidentally summoning a demon or something. But I feel like when you pray to Jesus, right, you can't go wrong. Except, okay, some of these people, they have all these theories about, okay, like, especially feminists, right? These New Age feminists. I don't mean that in a bad way, okay? I love feminists. But, like, talking about, oh, the male god is, like, it's like a psyop to, like, not trust your feminine instincts or whatever. But I have a different view on, like, the male god, okay? But you know what? Okay, I'm not even gonna get into that because I feel like I haven't really thought through religion all that much because it's kind of a new thing for me, right? So many people are raised religious from the day that they're born, right? They're baptized as a little baby. You don't even have a choice. Like, that's your life. Okay, and I was raised by, like, hippies with no spirituality at all. And then, of course, when I was, like, in school, like, in university, then I was like, let's give this spirituality stuff a chance. But there's still so much to learn. I mean, that's why I've kind of, like, dabbled in all this stuff, and that's why I feel like New Age is, like, the most appealing, because it kind of blends everything together, right? So you kind of got this truth of, like, all these Eastern philosophies with the Western mysticism, and so it's quite appealing in that sense. But I'm kind of interested in, like, starting a New Age cult. I think it'd be really easy. And I watched this video, and it said this is an old video, and they said there's over 5,000 cults in America right now. And I just thought, like, I could probably start one, although I feel like you kind of have to have a certain personality type, so I don't think actually me exactly could start one. But I would be interested in being involved with a cult in some way. Like being on the planning committee, like planning events and stuff. Yeah, sometimes I get worried about accidentally joining cults whenever I go to events. Like, okay, I was volunteering at these raves for a while, and then I got paranoid that they were a cult. Because, okay, they did have, like, really, like, they had this weird kind of cult leader vibe with a lead guy who was an organizer. And I don't know, I think things can become culty really fast. And, like, people give so much of their money and time. Okay, volunteering. Like, anywhere where there's a lot of volunteering going on. Well, no, I feel like I shouldn't say that, because there's, like, soup kitchens. But, okay, for-profit events, for anything for-profit where they have a lot of volunteers going on, okay, that's shady. And even some non-profits, actually, because non-profits can be pretty corrupt. Not-for-profits. Okay, I just started a new job recently. It's kind of new, but, like, I kind of already did it before, but it's, like, bartending, cafe stuff. It's kind of fun, but I think I'm gonna become an alcoholic, but, like, I can just choose not to become an alcoholic, or I could choose to become one. That's, like, I feel the crossroads hitting me right now. And I feel like I'm choosing to become one. So, if anyone has advice on how not to become an alcoholic, because, okay, I feel like, no, I can't say this stuff on YouTube, because I want to get monetized or whatever. You can't talk about, like, drugs and stuff on YouTube. I've been walking a lot recently, even though it's getting kind of cold, but it's not winter, okay? People say, oh, it's winter because it started snowing. No, it's not winter until, like, December, like, end of December, right? Mid-December. The winter solstice, whatever. So it is still fall, and I'm still walking. I think it's important to walk an hour every day. And if you don't live in a walkable city, I'm just so sorry, and that just, it's not right for humans, so I don't really know what to say about that. And how am I feeling about this composition? Not good. Not good. I'm really not liking this drawing right, but I'm not going to restart the whole video. I just have to finish it now. So we're just going to keep going with it. And, okay, my creative endeavors. Okay, I have so many projects that I keep scrapping, and I don't even know what's going on, okay? But I have this comic about vampires that I'm trying to finish. So, stay tuned for that, okay? I think it's actually going to happen. I think it's actually going to happen by the end of, let's say January. I think that's reasonable. I said end of July, so we'll see how that goes. I've been drawing on Bristol a lot. Bristol and markers. That's what I'm interested in. Do you ever get worried that, like, okay, you're, like, ripping someone off, but it's not intentional? Like, it's not like I sit down and, like, say, oh, I'm gonna rip someone off, you know what I mean? Like, you're not tracing or copying. But, okay, when I make these drawings, right, it's just kind of stream of consciousness. Like, things are just coming out, right? But then after it's done, right, I look at the drawing, I go, oh my god, like, it's one-to-one. Like, I just copied someone else's style. Like, not the content, right? But just, like, you know, if someone tried to say, oh, you're imitating their style, they'd, you know, they'd probably win in court, right? But it's not intentional. It's, like, on a subconscious level. Okay. No, I think that's enough. I think it's enough doodling. So now we're gonna do some shading and then some color. Okay, and vampires. Yeah, I've been drawing a lot of vampires. I was having like visions of vampires for a while there, but I think it kind of went away. I didn't really. I think, who was it that someone said, one of these Jungians, they said vampires are like a split off complex that you're so unaware of, like you don't even know what the complex is, and it just manifests as vampires because it's a total draining of your energy. But then I think other people could argue vampires are like there's kind of like an erotic element to them. There's kind of like an illness. Like there is this type of illness that would like make your gums bleed, right? And people say sometimes maybe that's like where part of the vampire mythos comes from. So I don't really know what vampires mean to me. And I think I'm going to start coloring because I'm kind of bored of this. But I can't really remember how to color digitally. No. Yeah. And okay, in my city, there are like tunnels underneath the city, right? Because we have so many office buildings. So all the office buildings are connected by this network of tunnels. And it's just the same, like, it's the same stores inside the tunnels just repeating because it's just for office workers. So it's like the same food court stores and like barbers and like gift shop type, like, you know, whatever some corporate 9-to-5er would buy. So you're walking through these tunnels and it's so weird. Like, it's just repeating and it feels really strange. Okay, and they just built like this Mars colony in my city too. So it's like a giant mall food court thingy. But then on the top, it's like apartment buildings. So you're like in your apartment and you come down and you can do all your shopping, all your groceries. And like, that's kind of freaky. Like, I don't really like that. I like feeling you have to go on a mission to find things. And okay, you know what's so funny? I was working at this, it's like Santa Claus, like kids pose with Santa Claus. You know what the Santa Claus actor said? He said, "Happy holidays, and make sure you do lots of shopping." Like, what the heck? That's not what Christmas is supposed to be about. I think he was getting too much into character of this, like, corrupt Santa who's, like, exploiting the elf labor, whatever. So I don't really know about that. And that's where this teddy bear inspiration came from. Like, they decorated this Christmas display with all these teddy bears, and I just became obsessed. Like, what? They're so freaking cute. Okay, now I feel like I kind of want to finish this quickly because we're almost at half an hour here, and I feel like I wasted a lot of time like drawing stuff that wasn't good. And like, okay, I tried to do a warm-up before I started the video, but you know, this is just a lesson for next time. Because, okay, trust, I'm going to be uploading a lot of videos because, okay, I'm not even going to lie, my main motivation for making videos, right? I am not good at talking. Like, I cannot hold a conversation to save my life. I cannot, like, speak, like, I can't formulate sentences and, like, enunciate words. And, okay, part of the reason for that is because I didn't really talk as a kid. Like, I don't know if you could quite call it a selective mute, because I did talk, like, a little, but, like, not that much. So I didn't really learn to talk until, like, literally after university. So I'm practicing. And I think it's kind of fun to post your process online. Okay, maybe I'll post, like, I'll turn this into, like, a little speed paint thing and post it on my Instagram. I think that'd be so fun and cute. I think that's a good idea. And yeah, I'll link my Instagram in the video description because I love getting more followers. And I love following other artists. And I love leaving comments on people's art. Okay, like, you know when you leave a comment and you can tell when it cheered someone up and they were happy that you commented it? that feeling, it, like, invigorates you with so much energy. And, like, okay, some people, they do it by, like, leaving hate comments because they think that gives them energy. Okay, try leaving a love comment and see how much energy you get from that. It's, like, crazy. It doesn't even compare. As a former hate commenter, I think I'm, like, very licensed to understand this. Yeah, social media. I don't know about the social media business anymore because, well, I don't know. It's kind of fun. Yeah, I like this better. It's kind of addictive, right? Like, it's a video game, okay? It's literally a video game. I started playing GTA Online recently. It's like a really weird feeling because it's kind of just, it's like a simulate. I don't read this philosophy stuff, you know. It's like reality, right? You know, like it's imitating reality. So that was like really weird to me. And also, okay, I can't drive in real life, and I can't drive in GTA. So I don't really know if it's the game for me. But because, okay, I learned you could play as a girl in GTA Online. I thought you had to be a man. So that was kind of a game changer. Okay, what else have I been playing recently? I got Darkest Dungeon 2. It's okay. I mean, I don't want to be that person who's always like, oh, the first one was better. But, like, I don't know. I think I just have to play it more. And I was playing Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead. That's, like, in my top 3 favorite video games. That one's also kind of weird because it is like imitating reality. To, like, a scary degree, like, too accurate. Yeah, I like playing those games where they try to imitate, like, it's like a system, like they make, it's just the most, like something like Factorio or like Dwarf Fortress, those are my favorite games. But I haven't been playing a lot of video games lately because I've been drawing so much that I don't really have time to. Like, that's not even a humble brag, okay? I just, like, drawing, it's not like I sit down and I say, I'm gonna draw for 4 hours. I sit down and I say, I'm gonna make a drawing, right? And then it just so happens that it takes me such a long time that then, 4 hours later, whatever. Let's do a background. And okay, I mentioned I watched a lot of YouTubers. Okay, I feel like I should shout them out for, like, these people who, like, influenced me so much as a kid. So I watched a lot of Cynics. I think he's like Cynics Design or something like that. He's still going, okay. He's still posting a lot. A lot of Keenan Lafferty. He did, like, a lot of League of Legends splash art, but I don't think he posts anymore. But I don't know. Okay, this is conjecture. And then Ahmed Alduri. Okay, I think he posted recently. But I feel like he also is not so active anymore. But okay, I watched, like, just hours and hours of these guys' drawing videos in high school and middle school. It's just, like, so influential. It's so crazy to think, like, how different I feel like my artistic development would have been. But then again, like I said, I wasn't really paying attention to the videos anyway, so it's kind of weird, okay, because I did take art in high school. I did go to art school, but I still consider myself self-taught, which I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. Like, I don't know if it's true, right? But I think it's true, okay, because I didn't really learn that much in school. It was just kind of a good way to meet people. And I had a really antagonistic high school art teacher. And she really hated me. So, yeah, I can't say that I really learned anything in that class. And art school. Okay, I don't regret going to art school, actually. I'm sorry to all the people who do and this anti-art school propaganda. No, I mean, like, okay, if it's gonna put you in a bad financial situation, like if you're in the States or something, okay, don't go to art school, maybe, I guess, question mark. But where I live, like, especially if you're disabled, right, like me, you get so much money from the government. I mean, I'm still in debt from loans and stuff, but it's really not that bad. And I think it developed me in ways, not so much creatively, but, like, psychologically, like, because it was such a challenging experience. and not like academically challenging, but like emotionally challenging. So yeah, I would recommend art school. I met some cool people. I didn't really talk to anyone in school though. But I kind of miss being in school. Sometimes I'm like, I should do another degree. But no, I don't think that's my path. I was reading the author Jonathan Lethem. Yeah, he's a good writer, and he talks about how he avoided the MFA mill or whatever, you know, like it's a point of pride or something, or that people respect him for not getting an MFA. So that's kind of the vibe I'm going for. Is like, look what I can do without an MFA. But you know, like I haven't actually done anything yet, so. And yeah, what I like about markers, the colors, they're so beautiful and like translucent. Marker, okay, I would say marker, alcohol marker, it's a lot like watercolor, but I find it's easier to use than watercolor personally. I used to do a lot of watercolor, but now I find myself struggling with it. I've been liking ink. I've been doing a lot of fountain pen drawings. Okay, I've been spending money on fountain pens and fountain pen ink. But it came to me in a dream, right? About ink. This woman was telling, like, this demonic face came rushing at me, and she said, it's like, it's worth it to use ink. So I went out and I bought all these fountain pens, and I think it's been good for my creative development, so I think I was on the right path with that one. And okay, I can just see that, like, to get this drawing where I want it, I think I would have to work on it for, like, probably, oh god, I don't know, at least another half hour, and that's being conservative. So I'm really gonna, like, speed run it, like, but I mean, I try and always finish my drawings in one sitting now. Like, the idea of spending, like, how I used to come home from high school, and I would work on a drawing or a painting, and a whole day would pass. I would come home the next day, and I'd be working on the same one, day after day after day, Oh, I can't do that anymore, right? That's why I've been having trouble finishing my comic project. Because it's like, I just want to sit down and be done with it, Draw it and be done, and it's a new day, and it's a new drawing. So, I don't know. But I think that could also just be, like, my attention span is fried from short-form video content. Because that wasn't really around when I was in high school. Maybe a little bit. No, not really. What was I addicted to in high school? I was addicted to League of Legends. But I still managed to draw almost every day, so no excuses. I do not watch Arcane, okay? Don't tell me to watch Arcane. Don't make Arcane references, like... Maybe I should, though, because I always like playing Jinx. And I feel like her story is a big part of the show. But wait, it's not actually Jinx, is it? I'm not qualified to speak on this nonsense. I feel like it would be really healing to have a backyard. Like a yard. Like dirt. Like you own a patch of dirt and you can just like build structures and like plant things. And okay, so many people, they've just given up on owning houses. Listen, I take it for granted that I will own a house, okay? Financially, I'm not doing good, but I just take it for granted that I will. Because I want to believe, okay? I believe in optimism. That's a criticism people have of New Age, okay? It's like, oh, it's too optimistic. It's too much positive thinking. Oh my god, okay. And I saw someone complaining on this forum, right? She was like, New Age shadow work, it just makes you more depressed because you're just wallowing in your bad feelings. Okay, I strongly, strongly disagree with this, okay? Because personally, I feel like all this analytical, all this psychology stuff, I feel like it's helped me. Like writing about your complexes and all this stuff that you've internalized and then working through it. I think that if it makes you more depressed, you're like not really doing the process right, and I think you need to read more books, to be honest. I mean, I think that goes for everyone. Okay, you know what I'm frustrated about? But, like, you could say this about me too. Is people who don't make any attempt to make money off their art, right? Which includes me, but... So I have this coworker, and he's so talented in music. And I was like, do you have Bandcamp? Like, I'm literally gonna pull up your Bandcamp right now and buy your music. Like, no, I don't really post. I don't really sell my music. Like, what? You could have just made an easy pay what you can donation off me right now. So just do it. That's my advice to people. Just, like, I don't know. I feel like with visual art, it's kind of hard because I don't really like selling digital. Like, what can you sell digitally anyway? You'd have to, like, do prints. And I'm not going to sell on any print on demand. Well, actually, maybe, because there's some kind of boutique print on demand stuff. I don't know, man. I don't really care about money. That's kind of my problem. Like, it's not really real to me yet. So I'm just, like, in a lot of debt, and I don't really care about making money. Because it's not, like, real. But all these new age people, they say, like, money is energy, right? That if you're in your right energy, you're gonna make a lot of money. So... Or, like, okay, feeling good is the currency with which I buy money. That made me laugh so hard. But true. Okay, and I did this I Ching reading, right? It told me you have to pass along your good fortune or you'll lose it. So I started buying all this art and, like, donating money to homeless shelters and stuff. But the good karma has not come back to me, and I think part of it is because I was bragging about that I did all this stuff. And so then I just erased it all, but, like, I'm not greedy, right? Like, I'm pretty frugal. I tip well. Okay, you know what bothers me, okay? When people tip, and they don't just, discreetly drop it in the tip jar, They go, oh, and I'm leaving a little tip for you. Okay, thanks, bro. Like, I'm not gonna be any nicer to you. Like, I'm already as nice as I can be to every customer, so, like, I appreciate it, but I don't need to know that it came from you, you know what I mean? Like, today, I got tea, and I tipped them, right? And she turned around as I was putting money in the tip jar. Listen, I didn't say anything, okay? It doesn't make me nervous that she thinks that I didn't tip her, you know what I mean? You know what I just did? I spent over an hour's worth of my wages on a box of donuts that I ate in one day, in one afternoon. It was, like, kind of like a small box too, because they're some pretty bougie donuts, but that's what I mean when I say, like, money's not real. Like, like a whole hour, like, what, more than an hour? But it was kind of worth it, actually. And I'm kind of feeling this is like almost done. Like, it could be so much more polished, but I'm kind of feeling like 40 minutes is a lot, and I kind of feel like it's not good enough to spend a whole hour on. But let's do 5 more minutes and we'll see. Because, okay, that's one of my insecurities, that my drawings are not polished enough. Because sometimes I just do it and I'm like, okay, it's done. Like, I don't feel like working on it anymore. And then I go on Instagram. Ugh. Okay, comparison is the thief of joy, right? But I go on Instagram and I see these people's beautiful artworks that's just so polished and so perfect. I'm like, I literally feel like a little baby child with my crayons now. Like, I can't even color in the lines, you know what I mean? But also, like, I don't really have any technical skills because I stopped drawing. Okay, I stopped drawing for, like, 2 years after art school, so... Yeah, I'm working on it, though. I'm gaining them back. I'm learning how to hold a pen again. Okay, but one of the reasons that held me back is, like, I had, like, super bad wrist injury, right? And one time during final season, I played too many video games. And, like, okay, this is art school final season. Like, you're making things, right? I played too many video games the night before. I woke up in the morning, my wrist was swollen up, like, the size of a baseball. Because, like, I broke it or whatever, like, the year before. And it still, like, hasn't healed, like, 4 years on or whatever. And, oh my god, I woke up and I cried. Because I just knew that, like, it was gonna hurt so much to work on my project. And, okay, I never asked, I got a couple extensions, but that was just because I was, like, I wanted to take it, like, when the prof emails and says, do you want an extension to the whole class? Like, obviously I'm gonna be like, yes. But I never went out of my way to be like, please give me an extension. Not that I'm judging people who did, but, like, it makes it harder for you, right? Because now you have extensions on all your projects, and now all your projects are due at once, and it's, like, not healthy. Like, just hand it in and be done. But yeah, so I had this bad wrist injury, and it still hasn't healed. So that's what held me back from drawing, partially. And okay, also a false belief about drawing is that I thought I need to wait till I'm inspired to draw. But like I mentioned earlier, drawing makes you inspired. So that, yes, like, do you ever just think about all the time you wasted? But you can't actually regret things like that, so it's whatever. Thinking about all the times I didn't draw when I could have been drawing, you know what I mean? And I just think it's good to draw every day. That's my words of wisdom. Oh, and okay, another word of wisdom. Read artist diaries. Okay, who am I reading right now? Emily Carr. And I've got Frida Kahlo's diary, but I haven't really started reading it yet. Okay, because they are thinking the same things as you are. Okay, I'm reading Emily Carr's diary. She's like a Canadian painter. I feel like all Canadians know her, but like non-Canadians don't. And she's literally talking about how she's so insecure and she has no friends. And oh, I thought my computer was plugged in, but it's not. So I think we're gonna call it the end of this video. My words of wisdom: just look up to other artists and see what other people are doing, what works for them, and stop being so freaking insecure. Yeah, that's my lesson to myself, but also my lesson to you, humble viewers. And thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. And I'm going to be making so many more of these videos. So this one wasn't that good, but the next one's going to be like 10 times better. Alright, bye.